Looking to replace your OEM diesel particulate filter or diesel oxidation catalyst? Look no further than DPF XFit, a complete line of aftermarket diesel particulate filters and diesel oxidation catalysts designed as an exact fit OEM replacement with all makes coverage for light, medium, and heavy-duty trucks. With thousands of units in stock, we ship the same or next day, and be sure to check out our comprehensive reverse OEM lookup tool. Always new, never remanufactured. For more information, be sure to visit dpfxfit.com. That's dpfxfit.com.
For more than a decade, FTI has strived to become the leader in the aftermarket performance transmission and converter industry. We've joined forces with McLeod Driveline Components under the leadership of Top Fuel Funny Car pilot Paul Lee, and now have a larger distribution network, more resources, and more power. Come see us in the pits and ask how you can join the FTI family. It's not cheating, it is the competitive edge.
The number one source of friction in your engine is not what you think. Piston rings rubbing against the cylinder walls generate more friction than any other part of the engine. More friction and temperature means more wear and less horsepower. Fortunately, the team at Total Seal knows how to reduce friction and wear through innovative piston ring design. If it takes a piston, Total Seal can build a better ring.
This is WFO Radio.
Hey everybody, WFO Radio, NHRA Nitro back on the air. We are just a couple of weeks away from the Amalie Motor Oil NHRA Gatornationals. Still wrapping up a little Bradenton, talking about the teams that have got a good shot in 2025. I, myself, am in the mad thrash to get ready for Lucas Oil Series action in Orlando Speed World Dragway, the first NHRA event of any kind in 2025. I will be attempting to run Super Street with Project Pontiac. Will it happen? The drama, the clock is ticking, but there's always time. There's always time for WFO Radio and NHRA Nitro, because honestly, this is what pays the bills and makes everything beyond that possible. We are super excited. We got Rob Wendland going to be on the show, going to talk about great success down there in Bradenton. But really, this all started, Seattle last year. We'll talk to Rob. I remember speaking with Shawn Reed, and Shawn was like, dude, I got to do something. And he did it. Like, watch out for these guys. Star Racer, dragster, Reed Trucking, dragster. It's going to be great. We're going to hear from Shawn possibly, but just for a few minutes, because they have got a very, very important NHRA Zoom call that is going to be happening at the top of the hour. That's why we started the show early if you're watching live. Now, we've got a lot of great sponsors on the show, and I want to tell you about all of them, whether it be CWT Industries or Bernie's Speed Shop or Sam Tech or Marvin Rodak, Wright Trailers, the people who help me out on a regular basis, Total Seal Piston Rings, certainly Foggett, Gary Stennett's Spray, which is just taking over the world by storm. We need to move beyond drag racing, though. HusseyPerformance.net, everybody that helps out, and of course, FTI Performance Transmissions and Torque Converters. We'll tell you about them a little bit later, but let's bring on Rob. And we're waiting on Shawn. They were supposed to be on together so they could give each other a hard time. There he is. What's up, Rob?
Hey,
how are you?
How you doing, Joe? Good to see you.
Good to see you. Good to see you. I remember you came on WFO like 1,000 years ago when we were audio only. It was one of my favorite shows ever, talking about you working in the water box of a drag strip. And now you're back. You were like the most talented unemployed crew chief for a while. and now look at you. Look at you. You guys are like a threat to win it all in 2025.
I hope so. We want to be a threat. That's for sure. We hate showing up and being all right, we got Shawn Reed. You know, we hate being that guy. We like the guys who show up and go, oh shit, we got Shawn Reed. That's what we like to see.
Right, exactly. And this whole deal that came together, I just got word from Shawn. He's trying to log in from a desktop. The worst way to do it. He should just use his phone. Everybody just use they're designed for this kind of stuff. They've got better cameras. They've got better microphones. Why would you use a desktop, right? For anything, really.
But he's old school. He's old school. So that's why, see, he thinks that the desktop is where it's at.
It's not. Let's talk about what Antron said yesterday in the press conference. I don't know if you know, but Antron was very spicy in the NHRA press conference. I'm sure everybody will be seeing some stories about it in the coming hours. But he had some very interesting things to say. But one of the things he said was that he's not a talker, he's a doer. And that Shawn Reed is in many ways his protege. And Shawn said something to him last year, like, I gotta get better on my lights. I gotta build a simulator. And Antron's like, you gotta go use mine right now. Go do it now. And that Antron is kind of like helping Shawn with the driving. And we clearly saw it the second half of last year. What's your take?
Well, there's a couple of things that we did and that not a whole lot of people know about. I'm just going to go ahead and expose it right here.
Expose it.
Yeah. So Shawn was complaining all weekend that his helmet wasn't working, but secretly we put a device in it so he can hear the relays in the tree go off before the actual lights go on. So that helps a lot. And then we took a 9-volt battery and then we hooked it up to his left testicle. And when it hits that relay, sees that sound, it energizes the left testicle. And then all of a sudden, bam, his right foot goes down. Just like that. That's how we fix the light problem.
And that is the kind of stuff you learn about here on WFO Radio. Click the bell, subscribe. You're never going to hear that kind of insight about NHRA drag racing anywhere else. Do you think that'll work for me? Because like is that something you can market, sell?
Well,
you do
what you can do right now,
else?
Joe, is pinch your left testicle right now and see what your right foot does.
Okay.
Maybe it's your left. I don't know. Some people are wired differently. But mostly we've seen the best luck out of the left testicle.
Suddenly I think you're serious. Like this is not
I just want to see you pinch it.
Well, that's not going to happen on the camera, but it might happen every now and again. So it is psychological though. A lot of this reaction time stuff.
You know what? I think it just given my driver confidence with a car, that's a lot of it. We gained a lot of that last year on the back half of the season once we figured out some stuff, and the car got faster and faster, and then the pressure. What happens then is the pressure is on the driver to perform, because you can have a 60s car, but you got to have a 50, 60s driver to go with it. You can't have a 60s car and a 90 driver, an 80 driver, and expect to win because the competition is so tough. So now it puts the pressure on the driver. What happens then is the driver's thinking about it. The driver's like, oh, crap, now it's on me. I got to cut a good light. And then the lights aren't so good. But I think as it goes along, as you get more runs and things like that, the confidence starts oozing out everywhere. The driver, the car, the crew, everything else. And so I think that's where you're starting to see this team blossom quite a bit, is that we feel like, we've got a good hot rod. We've got a pretty good handle on it. We're nickel and diming it, trying to get all the goodie out of it. And that gives Shawn a lot of confidence as a driver. Now I got to show up,
Well, I love hearing you say things that, and Shawn's down there, he's getting ready. We're going to bring him on as soon as he's settled, that I theorized myself, like as I build confidence with my own analysis, like you can buy all the best stuff and then suddenly it's on you. And it's like, oh man, it's on me. Like it's on you. And, but it's great to see Shawn kind of emerge. Second half of last year, he was a little irritated at moments, like it's on me. But he rose to the occasion. Let's bring him on. He joins us now, Shawn Reed. After that, it's a win of some sort, Shawn. Congratulations.
Hey, I managed to get on this thing, so that is a win. All right.
Yeah. I was talking about you.
I'm so proud of you.
Bradenton. Your driver's proud, Shawn.
Yeah, man. I was like talking to Allie, and I'm like, man, women can do this, and I can't even do this. I'm like, what does he know that I don't know?
Let's not go backwards. So, Rob was just telling us a little bit about, I'm not even going to go there. You missed that part. You'll have to go back and watch. There's something interesting about attaching electrical. Anyway, moving forward.
Yes.
What does this tell us about the season that we're about to embark on, Shawn?
Man, I love it. You know what I think, I've always been, I'm just happy being in a race car, right? And doing my own thing. And it's pretty cool to be around, Rob, about the same age as me. Okay, a year younger, but, we got the same mentality, man. I mean, he's never had like the best of the best parts, since he got into the dragster stuff, and I'm giving him the best of the best parts. And he's like the guy probably a lot of people had, they'd like to have him right now, but they can't have him. So, he's mine. I own him. I kissed him, so I own him.
Don't say that because it's a tough sport, right? Like you got to worry about that at some point. So make hay while the sun is shining. There's a saying about that, right, Shawn? Like, and I think the sun is shining on you guys just at the right time. We're getting ready to start 2025 in Gainesville.
Yeah, I think it is, but I still take some words from like Antron says, man, we got to stay humble. I won, we as a team won one race and we lost 20. So one race don't make everything perfect, and we may not win another one, but it's a great beginning, and I can't wait to see, Rob does seem to have a handle on what the car's doing. And I just need to do three things, just like everybody says. I need to stab the gas on time, keep it in the lane, and something else. I can't remember it, but something else.
So Rob told me that you guys and we started the show early. If you're watching on demand after the fact, we started the show early, but it doesn't really matter to you because you're watching after. You guys got a big conference call with the NHRA at 1:00. So we're going to have to let you go with a couple of minutes to go, which means we just have you for a few more minutes. Yeah. Rob, rate your driver. Let's have a little fun with the two of you guys on the air here. You've worked with a lot of people. You worked with, Johnny Gray. You worked with Terry McMillan. How's this guy when it comes to putting the visor down?
I tell you what, I'm pretty impressed. I really am. And that's not just because he's on there. That's not it. Actually, he can come back from a run. And this is how I rate drivers. Can you tell me a 5-minute story about the run? That's it. If you're a driver that jumps in and then goes, and then go, woo, I was late on the chutes, maybe that's not the guy that needs to be driving your car. This guy can come back and tell me, goes, yeah, I felt it, I did something a little top there and blah, blah, blah. And then he can tell me a story about what happened. And then we can take that information back to the computer, me and Ryan, and look at it and go, yeah, I can see it was a little edgy or whatever. But like this weekend, it was like he never left the car last year. It wasn't 3 months off. He just jumped in it and his lights were great. And the car, he just did his job. And it was such a relief as a team seeing him just take controls like he did this weekend. It was a great weekend. It really was.
I'm sure that has to do with the drag boat stuff, right, Shawn? Like you're used to the track is moving under you.
Yeah, you know what? I'm just a competitive guy. I want to do everything I can to get better and get an advantage, and it was definitely easier in the boats, not to take anything away from, the guys and girls that drive them things. But look, man, these guys and girls that drive these things, they're the best of the best. You take the Langdons and the Antrons and the Doug Kalitas and the Salinas and all these people have been driving on tracks for 20, 30 years. And Langdon, he goes back and runs another 3 months back in Qatar. I mean, the guy's just nonstop. I mean, they're like robots, man. And I'm Rocky and Rocky, and that they're like the Russian in Rocky. They're like machines. But I've got this. I'm in my office here in Washington State, and this is what I look at: my computer, and we got the old the practice tree that I work on, right? So I did make a conscious effort. I want to get better, and last week, I don't know if I don't think it was all me getting better. I think Rob found a way to make the car leave a little better.
The viewers know what I did.
Yes, the viewers know.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to go back and watch. We know about the wire.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Don
wire.
doesn't know about it just yet, but everyone else knows about it.
Yeah, we know about the wire, Shawn.
Yeah.
You're good.
So I'm glad I didn't take all the credit on that, because, man, I thought I was I hit the gas. And I'm like, man, I'm way better this year than last year.
Why is my right leg flying out so fast?
Yeah, what's going on? Why am I reacting so hastily? What's almost as
exactly.
it's like prompting me.
I think what they did, I said this a year ago, man, if you could just put a shock collar on me and activate it every time Justin Ashley hits the throttle, then I could at least have 060s, because he's hitting the stuff on 030s. And with that little delay, I stab it on 060.
The collar part, though, maybe it's not a collar.
Yeah. It's wired into the fire suit. You don't even know it.
You won't even know it.
Don't even know it.
I love it.
So
you know
people
what?
are going to be joking with you about this for the foreseeable future. All right, we only got 4 minutes left
That's
to
okay.
go. Hey, is that practice tree on? Turn it on. Let's watch him hit it one time, Rob.
Oh man!
Yeah, see this.
Yeah, well, this is simulating pressure, like the final round of Indy or hitting the practice tree on WFO. Same.
Okay.
Here we
Hang on
go.
a second.
Right, Rob? What's he going to come up with here?
I think he's probably going to have I'm going to say an 031.
Oh,
really?
my God! Oh my God! So I don't have a foot pedal like I have in the
do your best.
car.
Then do your best. You're on
Yeah,
the air.
don't let us down.
Don't let us
Okay.
down.
Hang on. Okay.
Stage
Oh, hang on. I got to get past this first one though, because it takes a little while to boot up.
He's negotiated a practice. That's fine, Rob.
Yeah.
He's negotiated practice. That's fine. This is compelling stuff. Everybody is loving. The numbers are going up. People finally figured out the show is on here.
45.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Crew chief doesn't like it. One more, Sean. One more, and then turn the camera back around.
Okay.
Here it is. Shawn Reed, Star Racer belts. Reed Trucking and Excavating. Here we go. About to stage. He's staged. The Amber Slash.
66.
66. Wah, wah.
Yeah,
I think it's fine. I think it's fine. We put intense pressure. You're holding a camera. You don't have your fire suit with the shock thing. So that makes sense.
Yeah,
all right, guys. There's a big announcement, supposedly. Loans. Tell us, Rob, what's going on with Loans?
I don't know. I heard it on Loans' podcast. He said something about a big announcement in Gainesville that's going to shock everybody and blah, blah, blah. Did you hear that? No. Am I the only one that listened to that podcast?
Yeah, I guess so. No, I'm kidding. It's a very widely distributed podcast that I am on there sometimes.
Some kind of announcement. I don't know.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that would be interesting for me too. I don't know any big. I mean, what is Loans going to give me like a couple of $1 million or something?
Maybe,
I don't know. It's not an announcement about us or nothing. I don't.
20% of his income wouldn't be that big of a deal. How
Yeah.
important is Ryan Elliott to this team? This is somebody that I like and have followed his career for a while, and you guys brought him on. How big it? See, I'm working for you, Ryan. Look at me.
There he is, right there.
Looking up Ryan with the pub. Serious. What's his
John
value?
called me up today and goes, God, he's like, oh my God, we got so many bills and blah, blah, blah. And I go, that's this guy right here, Ryan. He did it.
Hey, let me tell you something right now. If you all think your wives can spend money, they ought to hang around Ryan Elliott for a while, because that is a money spending mofo. I promise you.
All right. All right, Rob, one final thing before we let you go. We only got you for 2 more minutes. We want to get you on there NHRA. What is that? What is it?
A stack of bills I got in the last 2 days. If you want to be exact, it's $56,000 worth of bills I've gotten in the last 2 days. Thanks, Ryan.
There it is, Ryan.
Welcome. You're welcome.
You won something, though.
Yeah.
You won something. You could maybe win something else if you go to
We
games.
don't even know what we won yet, I don't think, right?
We don't even know what we won yet.
We don't even know, I don't think.
No.
Yeah, not a lot of talk about the payout this year.
Yeah.
It's cares. It's not about that.
I hope it's not a participation award.
I think it is a participation award.
Here you go, Joe.
There it is.
Right?
You get a shock on the left and you get a slap on the back.
You know what? I love it no matter what. I mean, I hope we get a little bit of money to pay the bills, but if anybody's racing for the money, they're in it for the wrong reasons. I mean, yes, it'd be nice to be sponsored and be able to race on someone else's money, but I didn't get in this thing so I can go, man, I can make $500,000, and forget the fact that I spent $3 million, right? I mean, it's not about the money, but we're going to chase sponsors. We're going to chase, help. And, I think we got a team, and we got the goods, we got same as everybody else, 2 cars, 2 trucks, 2 trailers, 2 of everything, 10 of this and 10 of that. And we got the same thing as everybody else. So we just got to find the right people that want to jump in on us, with us. And we're going to be fine. We're going to be just fine.
It's definitely obvious that this is the fun team, right? The fun team, the loose team. There's the corporate team. This is not that team. This is a great attitude. There's a sponsor that fits with that.
Yeah. No, there is. And, I'm talking to some people and stuff. And, it's just, I mean, it makes it all better when you win, and it gets excitement. And, I was totally excited, but I still look back and I get more excited than seeing the crew jump up and down than I ever do winning the race. That's cool to me.
Yeah.
As a crew chief, I'm the same way. Like I like being what is it, Clint Eastwood, and what movie was that where they took over Grenada?
Ridge.
What's that? Heartbreak Ridge. Right? And he's sitting back smoking a cigar like this, and he's watching all the guys partying. Woo, woo. And I just feel like that guy. And he goes, and the other colonel comes up and he goes, "What do you think of this whole situation?" It's a clusterfuck, you know.
Hey,
but it's a good one.
See, this is exactly why I keep this close.
I thought you were going to say any which way, but
Right next to my race car. Look at.
Not anything. No. Heartbreak Ridge. Heartbreak Ridge.
All right.
Yeah.
That's fine. There's a lot of them. All right. You guys are having too much fun. I've got you all warmed up. Now we're going to send you over to NHRA and their mandatory Zoom call that they're going to tell you guys about something. But thank you very much for making this time and going early and adjusting your schedules. Rob, there's a lot of people in the chat section that want to commend you on your YouTube content. I know you were an early adopter.
Yeah,
on
thank
TikTok.
you. Man, I'm having a great time with that. Rob
Give your
Wendland
channel
on YouTube. I tell you.
channel.
We showed him 3 weeks ago how to build a top fuel car, and then we took it to the race, and then we won with it. So it's a great series. It's finishing up. I think it comes out, the last episode comes out tonight, believe, or whatever it is. But yeah, it's Rob Wendland at YouTube. Just look me up. There's great videos about all of Shawn's racing and stuff I work on the side, that kind of thing. And so, yeah. Next project is a Raptor Rob. We're going to build a Raptor Rob.
All right.
We're going to put a blower on a Raptor.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, good deal. Great
Yeah,
content.
we use Shawn's money to do it.
Yes, that's the best part of it. Hey, I'm working on my own Project Pontiac. I'm going to get back to it as well. You guys off to NHRA. Thank you. Congratulations. Next time, though, it's like NHRA national event winter party right here. We'll do it again this year, right?
Sounds
right?
good. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It's going to happen. I feel it in my bones, man. It's going to happen.
Yep.
Go make it happen, guys. All right. Thank you so much for making the time. Later, guys.
Betcha.
There goes Shawn Reed. There goes Rob Wendland. Say bye to Ryan. Thank you so much.
Yep.
And how good was that? You know, guys, like this is what's happening behind the scenes at the NHRA. And if you're new to drag racing in general, if you're just some person who is walking by the stream and said, "What's going on in there?" Like, this is the fun that happens. And I'm just super excited that both of those guys, we had scheduled for one, but then NHRA had a mandatory Zoom call with all drivers and crew chiefs. And so we had to do a little bit of a tap dance, and this was the result. And so thank you, Rob. Thank you. Rob was one of the first people that like put his arm around me and it's like, "Joe, you got to use the right terminology. It's like, you got to say torching a gasket. You can't say, you think it was a head gasket that blew. You got to say torch a gasket. You got to use the hyperbole, Joe." And I was like, okay, I can work with hyperbole. And good guy. And I'm real excited about what they got going on. And Rob's got the YouTube channel. He was one of the first people that I knew that did anything on the TikTok, which I'm against the TikTok, but he did a lot of good stuff with it and is a natural with all that, the technical stuff, and obviously gives some of the best starting line interviews as well. So good luck with the Zoom call, guys. Appreciate you, and have fun. Now, the big announcement that Loans is talking about, like, what is it that he's talking? I have to go listen. I'll go listen as I do my work on Project Pontiac. Now, I've got a couple of things I want to tell you about. Couple of things that we want to tell you about. And I know that you've got some comments that you're going to put into the comment section. You're going to do that now. Like this guy wants to know, is Shawn Reed from Washington State or DC? Either way, it's Washington State. It's not DC. It's Washington State. And very exciting stuff. A lot of fun with those guys. But I am in the middle of a pressure cooker at the moment as well. And I'm going to tell you all about that. But first, I want to tell you about the people who make it possible for me to go WFO each week on the show. Like Jesse, heard about them at the start. OEM replacement catalytic converters. Everything is in exactly the right place. Matt Latino breaking out here this year. Eric, of course. But go to Jesse. The DPF XFit is the exact OEM replacement. Of course, Total Seal, Hidden Horsepower podcast. We're working on Scott Schafferoff. That's going to be amazing. FTI Performance Transmissions and Torque Converters, the official Power Glide Project Pontiac. Very excited. Got a little work to do there before we load it up. CWT Industries, balance machines. CWTindustries.com. Go to their website, whether it be a Cat 3500, we're talking earth moving stuff, or turbochargers. If it rotates, it can be balanced. And so if you have a machine shop or work in a machine shop, it's time to upgrade or at very least investigate it. Where's the harm in that? We can reach out to me, Joe at WFOradio.com, or on all my socials, or just go to CWTindustries.com. Reach out to Randy Neal and tell him you heard about it on WFO Radio. HusseyPerformance.net. You know, not just copper head gaskets anymore. Of course, they still make the quality American-sourced copper head gaskets that everybody loves, but exhaust gaskets as well. But now they do everything, and not just copper. Oil pan, valve cover. Go to HusseyPerformance.net or call David Allen. He's like waiting to sell you some gaskets. And they do a contingency program in the alcohol ranks and also Top Sportsman and Top Dragster. 724-318-8292. 724-318-8292. Call David Allen. Bernie's Speed Shop. This is a big deal right here because Bernie's, look, they're announcing sponsorships all over the place. People got Bernie's. Bernie's is everywhere. And we are super excited to be on board with Bernie's. The Fan Fest before the Gatornationals, 2 Wednesdays from now, not this Wednesday, not next Wednesday, the following Wednesday, we'll be getting started. And most drivers are going to be there. You get to check out Bernie's. I wonder if Josh remembers saying that he'll play his drums there at PRI on Brian Wagner's Dragzine podcast. Like, you know, we cornered him on that. And he's like, dude, you got to set up the drum kit and you got to do a solo, man. And he said he would. I wonder, does he remember that? You know, he's very busy making these venture capital deals. But most importantly, though, they're looking for inventory for the showroom. So if you've got, you know, that barn find that's, you know, sitting there, the barn find of the future, meaning like when you kick the bucket, your kids are going to find it like 30 years from now and then just going to kind of offload it for not nearly what it's worth. Why don't you send it to Bernie's where they can actually sell it and do some good things with it? BURNYZZ.com, Bernie's Speed Shop. Check out their social. I really appreciate it. Foggett, the spray. I'm loading up the trailer. What do I need? What do I need to go racing? What are the tools? What are the things? One thing was the first thing that I put in my trailer was my Foggett. Because at the end of racing, whether it be testing or test and tune on Thursday or making time runs in the Lucas Oil Series on Friday, hopefully, I'm going to fog it down at the end of the day. It's going to be the last thing I do when I put this thing away. Appreciate those guys, Gary Stinnett and the team. Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School. You can drive a dragster. That's right. You can be like little Shawn Reed out there driving a dragster, show up with the clothes on your back, but no, you're not going to be going 330 miles an hour, but you'll have an amazing experience and you'll want to do more. Go to frankhawley.com. Tell them you heard about it on WFO Radio. And then there's Marvin Rodak. Rodak's Coffee and Grills.com. Right now, I'm trying to figure out, like, do I enjoy Rodak's coffee before I race? These are the thoughts that are going through my mind. 817-924-6821. You notice that people will have like a monster. Brittany will have a monster. And then you're on. You got to time the monsters throughout the day. Similar with Rodak's Coffee. And so I don't know if I need to go no coffee for my racing. You know, I love caffeine when I'm running the show. I don't know about when I'm racing, but you're not racing. So 817-924-6821. Call Marvin. Go to the website. All new Rodak's website. Really cool. Check them out. WFO merch is on sale right now, including the Project Pontiac t-shirts. People have been asking me about it. Everything's 35% off. You want to get a Project Pontiac t-shirt, you certainly help out the WFO universe. And that brings me to Project Pontiac. Well, guys, here we are. The precipice. Right on the brink, the verge. Today, at this moment, it is 1:08 p.m. Eastern Time. And the car, for the first time, is back in my mom and dad's garage. The hood is on it. Driver's seat is in it. Seatbelts, new, fresh. You know, expire in 2027. 10 years longer than the previous ones were. Fires up. It runs. I do have a couple of videos out there on my social. Just little videos. Would love to do something more, but it's just capturing the moment is really easy. Making the wonderful post to go along with it and making sure everything's correct and tagging everybody, that takes a lot longer, believe it or not. We just dropped a video on our YouTube channel in the Project Pontiac playlist from PRI, the happy hour where the engine debuted and everybody kind of came by. Elin from Drag Race Bracket Bonanza came by, and Pat Topolinski from Engine Power came by, and Sean, the What No Way guy, came by, and Reinhardt was there, and everybody was there, and it was really fun. The Wilson Manifolds group was there. Everybody was there. Shawn and Rich from PRP, Philadelphia Race Products, were there. And it's just like a little 2-minute video, but it gives you the vibe of the PRI happy hour. Next up, there'll be a video from TBM Brakes, and hopefully, this thing will go down the racetrack on Thursday. And, you know, like I want to say something like I've never worked harder for anything in my life. I want to say that, but I know that that's not exactly true. But this is the hardest I've worked recently, like right now. And that's kind of the way I handle, like, you know, like I don't want to make this about like my tremendous work ethic. That's not what I'm doing. You do what you've got to do. And if I want to race in Orlando, if I want to race the Baby Gators and close the circuit, my father, my mother, and I went to our first ever Gatornationals in 1980 in this car. And to be able to race in NHRA competition in the Lucas Oil Series, I've run some ET bracket races there. Technically, that's NHRA competition. But not on a Pro Tree, not in the Lucas Oil Series, not at an NHRA divisional. That has never happened. The Baby Gators, to be able to participate in that event will be an amazing feat. And all the people that have worked so hard to help me do this, from the guys at Total Seal, like everybody, I can't even list everybody. My great friends, Rick McDonough and Corey Kramer and Lee Neal and Gary Stinnett and everybody that's been helping. They have worked so hard to get me to this point. And if I miss it, I have to wait till next year. That's where we are with this. There's no, if you miss it, you can just go next week. Like, it'll be an entire year before I get the opportunity to do it again. I might be able to bracket race at Amalie, or I might be able to go to some car shows. But as far as running Super Street, the set goal, the whole point of it, to run Super Street. I've wanted to run Super Street with this car. It weighs 3,200 pounds. We scaled it the other day. DNR Automotive got a front end alignment, set up the suspension, a lot of work. But back to that point, it has been nonstop every day, every moment that I'm not doing something as related to WFO radio or keeping myself alive. Been working on this project. And now we're in the final mile, in my opinion. The final mile. Got a little more work to do. Got to replace a part that just happened to be a little, on the fritz. Got to install the oil retention device. Got to put in a couple other pieces and parts. Got to clearance a tire. Wendland's like, it'll clearance itself. It's like, what if it pulls it off? It's like, yeah, that's a good point. But the race to the finish is on. What do I need to go racing? What do I need? Right? The parts and the pieces and the tools to go racing. How much fuel? How much of my fuel factory fuel do I need to bring? All of these things, going to put some thought into it. But I think we're going to make it, at least at this moment. And so check out the video in the Project Pontiac playlist on YouTube. We'll be in Orlando for the next couple of days. That is going to be streamed on YouTube, as it has been in the past. It'd be a big bummer if it wasn't, but I don't really know the answer to that. And then next week, the Baby Gators. And I will be at the Baby Gators Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday as a racer. And then the following week is the Gatornationals. We'll be testing. There'll be a broadcast test of Top Fuel Tuesday and Wednesday at the Gatornationals. The Fan Fest at Josh's. Thursday is the International Drag Racing Hall of Fame. And then we are on to NHRA Mission Foods 2025. One other note before I get to your comments, the announcement of the track announcing team. So first of all, like, I want to be positive all the time. Like, I want to be, but sometimes, you can't be positive when people don't know how to read. They're like, no, Loans and Bruno, what happened? I'm like, no, this is the NHRA.TV and what we call in venue, your live announcers on location, that when you go to the track, you see it. When you purchase NHRA.TV, this is what you get, right? NHRA on Fox goes unchanged. Brian is going to be there. Tony is going to be there. As I understand it, Bruno and Amanda are going to be there. Amanda signed. Congratulations to Amanda, Fox Sports. So all that team is unchanged. When Alan Reinhart moved on to become vice president of competition, all you people who are like, Reinhart, like, dude, this guy has got the dream job of his life. So, what are we going to pull him back from that? We now have announced, NHRA has announced, that Galvin and myself, along with a vast team of personalities and voices, are going to cover the track announcing at each NHRA Mission Food Series event. The team includes David Freiberger, Hot Rod Magazine, Motor Trend, all those years. Who knows more about cars and like trim packages than David Freiberger? He's going to be calling Lucas Oil Series action. People are already very excited about stock and super stock and what he's going to be able to bring to the table. Things that, like, I'll be honest with you. I know some of that, but not all of that. I focus on the driving and the racing. He's going to focus on the cars and the packages and learn the racing. He's committed to learning the nuances of top-end driving, which he already knows. I'm very excited about David Freiberger as an announcer. Jordan Vandergriff, Top Fuel racer, reporter for NHRA on Fox, obviously Hedman Hustler headers, all of these things. Yes, the Bachelorette, right? Jordan is going to dive with both feet into Lucas Oil Series action and calling and announcing that stuff. Can't wait. Hannah Rickards, of course. Courtney Enders. People have, like, Courtney has blossomed with her work on Flow, and she got some time on the mic last year and did a great job. Jolie Stanfield did a great job. There is a whole host of people that are coming in to this breach that are going to carry the mic at certain times. It's going to be fresh. It's going to be new. It's going to be exciting. Is it going to be perfect from jump? No. And that's what makes it great. Is like, we're going to be on a journey together. Seeing so many people say it's not going to be the same. And no, that is a very accurate assessment. It's not going to be the same. How could it possibly be the same with a different crew? But as someone who has worked and listened and loved talk radio, morning shows, morning show hosts, radio stations, my true and first genuine passion. Maybe someday I will go back and work on the radio somewhere if the right opportunity picked up. But you'll fall in love with a morning show, and those will be your buddies, and you'll love them. And then they'll go get a better gig in another market. Like, that's what happened with Phil Hendry. The guy who is, nobody knows that name, or maybe you do. Phil Hendry is one of the two reasons that I do this for a living. There's a couple others. Get into the whole radio story. But Phil Hendry was on 610 WIOD in Miami until he wasn't. And he went to KFI, more stimulating talk radio, KFI, in Los Angeles, and we lost him. And I had a friend, he was sending me tapes, stuff he could get off the radio. But the next person comes in and fills the role, and you still listen to the radio. And then you learn to love what they're doing too. And it'll be a little different. It won't be the same, but there will be passion for the sport. There will be people working very hard for the sport. And the effort that's going into the Lucas Oil Series, C.W. Hofer, great attention in the pits. Out there right now, won 3 championships in one car and one track. Amazing. I can assure you that there will be no limit to the effort that everybody is putting in. And I think that's all you can ask. And let's take the ride. Let's take the ride together. All right, let's see what some of the comments are. And I said this was going to be a short show because I was going to blow out of here and go work on Project Pontiac. Joe, is the Pontiac ready? All right. No, it's not. Shawn would be a contender in 2025. I think so. I think they just have too much fun. Rob and Ryan, so sharp. Shawn's got the right attitude. Now he's got the confidence. Joe, did you watch the Super Bowl? Yes, Blake, I did. I watched the Super Bowl. The Eagles Wow. It's weird, this whole group think, right? Everybody said that Kansas City was going to win and the Eagles blew them out. It's really hard to win 3 consecutive. That's why Pat Riley trademarked the term three-peat to make it's funny because the Dolphins and the Chiefs have both been to 3 consecutive Super Bowls. The Dolphins lost their first, then won the next 2. The Chiefs won the first 2 and then lost the last one. Plus, the Dolphins had a perfect season in their 3 Super Bowls. So I think that wins. Nice to get psyched for the Gatornationals. Gatornationals going to be huge. So Rob says that Loans is talking about, I haven't heard the Loans podcast. I'll go listen to it right now. Big announcement. We got the right trailers, all-star call out. How about Michael Scott jumping in on that deal? Very smart. Let's see. On track in a week, on track in 2 days. Great show. Any thoughts on the Daytona 500? I was happy it got rained on because I spent all day working on the car, got the car started that day for the first time, drove it down the street and got home and we were 40 laps into the race. Wreckfest happens a lot. Denny Hamlin, very upset, but there's racing, like every race at Daytona is pretty much that. Someone gets too aggressive at the wrong time, they collide, and then you see how fast they're really going. We did start a WFO Radio Fantasy NASCAR League. It's not too late to get in on it. We used a new site called Fantrax. Don't know anything about it. Building the plane as we fly. Can we see the Project Pontiac engine running video that you posted? Well, it's on our socials. I got some better videos, but just no time to post them. I have a feeling he's taking over Alan Reinhardt's announcing position. I don't know who you're talking about. That's the thing. The Alan position is something different. You will make Orlando. Is that like motivational or are you trying to intimidate me like a drill instructor? You will make Orlando. Let's see. Getting excited to see all the racing from Gainesville. Yeah. What's up, Selena? How are you? Good to see Selena out there. Selena, excellent, like in underground personality in the sport. Joe, are you going to have a show tomorrow? No, I'm headed to Orlando, Blake. No more shows. Watch the social, WFO Joe, WFO Radio. And, I'll post some things from the track. But no, this is it. Hit the archive. How about Ron Capps, by the way? All kinds of stories, Drag Illustrated, Competition Plus. Ron Capps just like slides in there on WFO Radio, just like Rob Wendland with the electrical thing. That was comedy gold that happened on this show right at the very beginning. Kind of sneaky. And that's what WFO, that's why you got to click the bell right down there. Never miss one, man. Never. You can't miss one. You can't miss this show because someone is going to say something like Rob Wendland did, and we're not going to make a big fuss about it. We're not going to put out, like, guess what happened on WFO? Because when you do that, I think it reduces the chances of those things happening. But Comp Plus and Drag Illustrated and everybody else put out stories about how Ron Capps talked about Matty Gordon and Andretti on the show. I thought I heard him talk about Matty Gordon in other places. I think I heard him talk about that. And that's why I challenged him. I was like, hey, man, you're talking about Matty Gordon publicly, man. What's up with that? He's like, yeah, Matty. Because thank you to Drag Illustrated and Competition Plus and everyone who cited the show as the source of Cap's commentary. Thank you for that. That is so helpful and appreciated. Keith says, buy some WFO merch. Support Joe by joining Patreon. Some dude tweeted a photo of himself in a Project Pontiac shirt. You don't have to be a Pontiac fan to wear the Project Pontiac shirt. Because I know Mopar guys, nobody even me. You don't want to wear like a Ford shirt if you're a Pontiac guy. But this is Project Pontiac. It's a WFO initiative. The Bernie's Dodge Drag Pack. That's right. Let's see. Are you going to be at Bernie's? It's my intention to be at Bernie's. Absolutely. For the pre-race fan fest? Absolutely. Let's see. Are you practicing on the Christmas tree? A little. Yes, I have. I don't want to fall victim to over practicing. Look what happened to Shawn, right? We put the pressure on and he was 60, but he was 40. I'll take the 40. I'm hoping that we'll be able to see the Pontiac's first pass down the track. I'd like to see all of them too. Well, you probably won't. If I get to do a test and tune run or a test, like one thing I've learned through all of this is that most of the people I hang out with are not really great with the camera. It's just can't be good at everything. Hopefully someone will take a video of it, but maybe it won't, you know. Most of my great accomplishments were not really documented because I'm the documenter, you know. It is what it is. Yeah, you guys wanted to be on video. Yeah, me too. Me too. You know, I was thinking, like, should I go buy a GoPro? Yeah, I should. I should go buy a GoPro. Who's got time for that? Hussy Performance. What's up, David? You got to call this guy, man. Not just copper head gaskets anymore. Maddie's out there. Project Pontiac lives. Most excellent, Joe. Yeah, when it fired up, first of all, I had full expectations that it would be fine. Jumped right up on aisle. Perfect. That great sound. Very, very exciting. Is NHRA going to allow you to run super stock at the Gatornationals while working? The answer is it's not a super stock car. It's a super street car. And they are not running super street at the Gatornationals. And honestly, I'm kind of happy about it. I don't think I have 3 weeks in a row of racing in me. Like, it's been a wild thrash to get to this point. Go to Orlando, go to the Baby Gators, put the car away. Be happy. My resorted seatbelts, a new ignition box for the front engine dragster arrived at the Bedrock shop. Get out there and finish up your chores. Dreams do come true, Joe. This guy, Dragster Jeff, who always talks about donating blood and is a great guy. He's part of our ignition crew. So motivational. So motivational. The motivation has been thick, man. Everybody's motivated. I kind of feel over-motivated at times. Good luck, Joe. I'll be watching, and so will we. Yeah, the YouTube broadcast of the Southeastern Division race in Orlando. Joe, you need to get Clay and Cletus on. They will boost your subscribers with your show. You know, I don't like to ask people to boost my subscribers. I know they have a lot of subscribers. Clay has worked one by one. Clay will definitely be on the show. Why don't you reach out, Charlie, to Clay and Cletus and tell them to help me? Growth is everything. Yeah, I need growth. Let's see. What's up, Dugenet? How are you, buddy? You know, we grow in fits and starts. It's pretty crazy. Every once in a while, we'll get a good video. Like the Caps video's got like 12,000 or something. Talking about Maddie. Talking about Snake. And, you know, we pick up some subscribers. I want to get over that milestone. Like, we're coming up on 5,000. And as much as most people still listen to the audio-only podcast, the YouTube, you know, this is where the Project Pontiac playlist is. I love the announcing changes will be different for all. That's the thing, man. It's like, I really could, you know, I want to focus on the positive. The idea that there's anything like, it is what it is. It's out of the hands of this guy, certainly. Do you love drag racing or not? Because we're going to be drag racing. It's the way I look at it. My mom got me an NHRA TV subscription, so I'll be able to watch you race on the Baby Gators. Yeah, assuming we make it there. Hasn't been the same since Bob Fry, except change. Phil Hendry is a genius. Keith love Phil Hendry is a genius. Phil Hendry is a genius. Thank you, Keith. Yeah, mailman, right? Like going around listening to stuff. Of course you listen to Phil. Yeah. It hasn't been the same since Big Mac. Like, if you're me, that's the Big Mac and Steve Evans. Whoever is the voice when you start going is going to have a soft spot in your heart forever. That's just the way it is. And there's a saying, like, to truly know the man, research the world when he was 20. You know, I learned that one the other day. And it's really significant. I think it was, I don't know who said, I think it was Napoleon. I don't know. But when you are fresh and young and doing it for the first time, like, who's the voice out there for those first experiences? And for so many people, like for me, it was Dave McClelland and Steve Evans, and Bob Fry was there too. And then it became Bob Fry, and then it became Alan. And now it's, you know, it's a group broadcast, just like it is on the NFL and the MLB and NBA and NHL and every other sport. NASCAR, look how many they go out to the desk. They go to Chris Myers. They're moving around. They're constantly getting opinions from all kinds of people. No sport is just one person anymore. And the NHRA is moving their broadcast in that direction. Hope it goes well. Joe, will you be at Frost Lane Friday next week? I will not, Dylan. I will not. I will be racing in Gainesville. The folks at Fastlane Friday at Homestead Miami Speedway, man, we have such a great time out there. But not a good job of not conflicting with my NHRA schedule. Pretty much every Fastlane Friday from here on out is on an NHRA weekend. Bit of a bummer because I love that event. And maybe I could bring Project Pontiac down there. That was hilarious. Wire in the fire suit. Mike says, hi. Sure, Miss Allen. Have him at least once a month. So the thing about Allen and WFO, right? Like, so I spoke with Allen the other day, and it's like now, we're at like Coke and Pepsi, or, Coke and another cola. And it's like, I'm sure Allen doesn't want to be on here talking NHRA and you get that, right? You get that. But we'll have to do Reinhardt reunions. At some point, we'll do Reinhardt reunions. Come on, you don't do this for 20 years. But then again, we have caps on Tuesday. This week we had Rob and Shawn. So it'll just be more drivers. 67 Firebird here, WFO, camera in the car, so every run is documented. I would really like that. We'll see. Depends on what Best Buy has. I'm going to make a run by there. I will be watching in Orlando. Should have stayed in Florida until after the Gators. Yeah, made a terrible mistake. Milliken fan in Michigan. It's all right. It's all right. I hung out with her when I went out to Bradenton, picked up the tires. Maybe we can race PBIR again. Yeah, there's a little bit of a rumbling that PBIR may come back. Man, that would be great. Great show. Any news on PBIR or Memphis? Bring Mr. Roadkill on sometimes. Yeah, like Freiberger should be easier to get on the show now, right? Like he was on once when we were audio only, like way back. It was not good timing, but I am excited about it. But all right, guys, got through all the comments. Go back and watch the various. I can see by the numbers. So look, we came on early, and so we did not have everybody on there that we normally have. Rob Wendland was very funny. Or you know what? Don't. We'll make a breakout video and you can see it. You dropped the F-bomb. Like, Eddie. Afternoon joke. Can't wait to see Project Pontiac make its run. Best of luck. Me too, bud. Me too. Have a great day. If you want to support the show, there are a lot of ways you can do so. I mean, you can buy a can of Foggett at summit-racingequipment.com. That is a great way to do it. You can get a Miami Hollywood Speedway t-shirt or Project Pontiac t-shirt. They're 35% off right now. You can join Patreon and check out the Hear It From Heiner show. Michael Heiner, I guess, is out of material because he's doing interviews now. Rob Downing and Timmy Freeman, not related to Richard Freeman. Tim Freeman, who Heiner worked with way back in the day, in the Ron Krischer days. But if you love Pro Stock, and it's only available on our Patreon page, that's Heiner's deal. He goes, I want to do like a VIP thing. It's like, okay, well, the Patreons, they pay for access, and they get a little more. But Tim Freeman, it was a great interview. Just a lot of behind the scenes, old school Pro Stock stuff. Really exciting. Or you can support any one of these great sponsors because they helped out Project Pontiac. Wright Trailers, of course, and John Gadosh, and everybody. Straub Technologies and Piney Flats. But now, guys, we are off. Back to the garage. Got to put on a oil retention device and other work. So we're going to get to it. Will you see me in Orlando? Watch that NHRA stream to find out. Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Shawn. WFO.